Welcome, SENS Talk.
Russell winds in, feeds it back across the track, and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Paul Giroux, hit alone, scores!
Tim Stutzel across, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go, SENS, go.
Welcome to SENS Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I'm your host. Tonight, Ottawa took on the Florida Panthers as they look to get back on track after that 3-2 loss to the Minnesota Wild on Tuesday night, ending their 5-game winning streak. Now look, this was the first game since the Vladimir Tarasenko trade that Tarasenko would play against his former team. So I put the question out to you, the SENS fans, on Twitter today in a poll, and I asked very simply, does Vladimir Tarasenko deserve, like a video montage or a welcome back? Or should they kind of give him the cold shoulder like they did, for some reason, with Nikita Zaitsev? And as you can see on your screen now, we got just under 1,600 votes, so that's pretty cool. Thank you to everyone that participated. And a very close poll, 6% difference, just by 3% for the majority, with the majority saying no, it's overdone and there shouldn't be a video montage. Now, I should have been a little more clear in my poll, so there's a bit of an outlier. I think a lot of people that probably voted no was probably okay with what Ottawa ultimately ended up doing, which was a quick video montage and welcome back. So maybe that affected the poll result a little bit, but overall, very, very close. And this has been a contentious debate around the National Hockey League, players being welcomed back by teams. There's been a lot of examples where players have played literally 20 games and got a welcome back video. So I think Tarasenko deserved it, and I'm glad he got it. Because he was great on and off the ice here in Ottawa, very, very classy, and he deserved a classy welcome back. And I also asked this question because Zaitsev didn't get that welcome back. So I was really curious to see what they would do, and I'm glad to see that they welcome back Vladimir Tarasenko. So that was one of the only bright spots, I suppose you can call it, in today's game, because other than that, in this Tkachuk Bowl, you can see on your screen right now, Florida Panthers and Matthew Tkachuk have dominated the Tkachuk Bowl, and let's just say that will continue again tonight. But before we get into the recap, a couple of things. Firstly, Angus Crookshank had a lower body injury on Tuesday night, did not return in that game, and would not play in this game. It looks to be serious enough that he would not play in this game. Hopefully he's not long-term though, but it was serious enough that he would not play, and Ottawa would call up a player, that being Yuri Smejkal, which we love to see. I love this guy. He signed here over from Europe in the offseason. It's great to see him getting another opportunity with the big club. But obviously Belleville, the minor league club, is in a playoff push. You can't really keep on taking all these guys and expect them to stay in the playoff push. So Rourke Chartier is sent down in a corresponding move. I would expect Smejkal and Crookshank probably to meet him down in Belleville within the next couple of games. Ottawa has less than 8 games left now in the year. Belleville needs to make the playoffs. It would be a great experience. I would expect them to be sent down sooner rather than later. Now, Ottawa would start Jonas Korpisalo tonight. And for the Florida Panthers, it's Sergei Bobrovsky. Let's just say 42 career shutouts going into this one. We'll just say that because we go into the first period of play, and as usual, it's the Ottawa Senators special. They always love to do this, and they do it again on the first minute of play. It's the Florida Panthers striking first. Nick Cousins gets things started to make it 1-0 Florida. Brady Tkachuk loses a board battle. Cousins walks in on a nice pass along the boards, and he gets a goal there to make it 1-0 Florida. That's now 19 games. It is 19 games now that Ottawa has allowed a goal on the opening 2 shots. That is unbelievable. And Trent Reynard, one of our bloggers and statistician for SENS Talk, shout out to him, just an absolute beauty with all these stats, pointed out to us on our SENS Talk content team chat that 3 of those out of the 19, 3 of those were against Florida, including tonight, of course. That is, shout out to Florida. They're obviously a hell of a team. But is that just goaltending? Is that defensive structure? Is that coaching? Well, I'll tell you what, it's everything. This team is fundamentally flawed in every aspect of the game. The forwards don't backcheck. The defenders can't defend, which obviously is a big issue. And the goalies can't stop a beach ball. So it's going to be a hell of an offseason for Steve Staios. I really don't know how you fix it. It definitely starts, though, with leadership. And by that, I mean the proper coach being installed to lead this team. Because if you bring a coach in that can install some proper defensive structure, Look what happened with Carolina and Rob Brindamore, for example. They were flailing for a bit. They brought in the right coach, and now they're cup contenders for the last half decade, right? So that can happen with Ottawa with the right coach. So I'm not too worried for that, but the fact 19 times this year, 3 times against Florida, Ottawa's allowed a goal in the opening shot or two. It's another joke. It's another joke, and that will continue. 30 seconds later, Florida would keep on chomping away at Ottawa as Dmitry Kulikov gets his first goal of the year and as a Florida Panther. They make it 2-0 Florida. You need to stop there from Jonas Korpisalo. Goes high glove side, past Corpy, makes it 2-0. That's now 2 goals on 4 shots. Ottawa at this point doesn't even have a shot on goal. So Florida, 2 goals. Ottawa, 0 shots. That tells you all you need to know about this game. As after that, Ottawa would respond, I suppose, and would really push back after Florida dominated the opening 2 minutes. It would be a scrappy first period. You would have Parker Kelly getting into it. Really, Greg with a poop-eating grin. I'll keep it PG. He was grinning a lot, which you always love to see. He's a pesky player. And we also saw some dirty hits from Florida. Mikola, for example, hit Tim Stützle up high. And it resulted in 4 power plays for Ottawa in that first period of play. But of course, they would go 0 for 4 because this is the Ottawa Senators power play in 2024. You shouldn't expect them to score. So we go to the second period of play, and my goodness, Jonas Korpisalo, the bad play continues. He doesn't seal his post. Lundell takes advantage, banks it off him and in. 3-0 Florida. Another goal. Frankly, Korpisalo must have. And another goal on the opening shot or 2 of a period. Makes it 3-0 Florida. And then a couple minutes later, it's just a repeat of the beginning of the first period. Ottawa just does not know how to start a period. 4-0 Florida. Sam Bennett, goal number 53 on the year. Walks in after Zub gets crossed up. And the Florida Panthers chase Korpisalo. He leaves after giving up 4 goals on 17 shots as Anton Forsberg enters the game. Jonas Korpisalo now has allowed 4+ goals in 19 games this season. That is absurd. Absolutely absurd. That he's, by the way, played a career-high 50 games. He's appeared in 50 games this year. He's only had 43 starts. So he's stepped in for 7 games. But in those 50 games, he's allowed 4+ goals 19 times. That's nearly half the time. It's unbelievable how inconsistent Jonas Korpisalo has been, because he's had bright spots, as we've seen in the last month. And then he's had quite often moments like tonight where he allows 4+ goals. The only thing consistent about Jonas Korpisalo is his inconsistency. Just like the rest of the Ottawa Senators, to be fair. And speaking of the Ottawa Senators, they would not let up. They would keep on allowing opportunities for Florida, and of course the Panthers would strike again. Sam Reinhart, my goodness, makes it 5-0 for goal number 53 on the year. Sorry, I said Bennett had 53 goals. It's Reinhart with goal number 53. As a SENS puck watch, this goal is actually a joke. It's actually a joke. You have nearly 20,000 people in the fans paying good money to watch this team. I checked the tickets before the game. Not cheap. Not cheap at all. Very expensive for a team very much so out of a playoff spot. The fans are paying a lot, the players are making a lot, and the Sens are not putting in a lot of effort. And it's very evident on this goal. They just got caught puck watching, and of course the Florida Panthers take advantage of that. Tarasenko gets an assist, of course, as Ottawa is down by 5 going into the third period. But that goal, it's just unbelievable how they got pickpocketed. They're basically watching Florida play hot potato. You just can't have it. You need to be playing far better than that. At home in the Tkachuk Bowl in front of, Brady Tkachuk's family. How many times is Tkachuk, going to take this where he gets blown out by Matthew Tkachuk, his brother, in front of his family? It's embarrassing. It's got to be. I know it's the end of the year and I don't want to get all melodramatic, but I mean, that has to suck for Tkachuk. And that certainly is not a great feeling. And, a lot of players probably wouldn't want to deal with that. So for the best interest of Ottawa, I suggest we start playing much better very, very soon in these games, because the continuously not show out for the Tkachuk Bowl, and obviously a big game for your captain, it just says a lot about, frankly, the heart and soul of this team, and the fact that really they're just not playing as a team, they're playing as individuals. So we go to the third period of play, and under 5 minutes in, of course, Ottawa gives up another goal within the first 5 minutes of the opening portion of the period. Matthew Tkachuk, of course, as well, gets the goal. I thought it was very classy, though, that he didn't celebrate, didn't even do the fist bump along the bench, just went right onto the bench, didn't even do the fist bump. So I thought that was classy and a bit of a rout against his brother. So tip of the cap there to Matthew Tkachuk. As Ottawa would lose 6-0 overall to the Florida Panthers in a game in which they had their opportunities. They had their opportunities big time. They had 6 power play opportunities, went donuts on that. So they couldn't score on their power plays, which obviously is going to cost them when they're playing a top team like Florida. But the shots, I mean, Ottawa overall, they didn't play terrible if you look at the stats. But if you watch the game, they play terrible because the goals they allowed, it's purely because of defensive error, lack of interest, and terrible goaltending, which is the story of the Ottawa Senators season, of course. But once again, if you look at the stats, 31-30 were the shots, just one shot in favor of Florida. They even won the faceoff battle by 10%, 45 to 55, or 55 to 43, or 0.5, whatever it is. 2%, doesn't really matter. They won the faceoff battle against a tough, center team like Florida. And overall, I mean, they played decent enough if you look at it on paper, but bad goals, bad defense, just a bad mix of everything, as usual for Ottawa. Plunges the Ottawa Senators into yet another, frankly, embarrassing loss. So, besides that, I'm not going to even get into the stats other than the goaltending, because everyone played like absolute garbage. I'm not going to single out anyone, but the goaltending in particular was absolutely atrocious. Korpisalo, 4 for 17, like I said already, 765 save percentage. Not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. This guy's had nearly 25 games this year with a below 850 save percentage. He's played far better as of late. I think he could be a solid goaltender. He's never once played this many minutes in the National Hockey League in his NHL career. But, I mean, when your goalie's not putting up, on average, an above 850 save percentage, which obviously you're not going to win many games. Ottawa's only won one game. They went like 1-18-1 in that stretch, I believe. You're not going to win many games as they have been this year, and that's concerning for your goaltending and for your future in the net. So Korpisalo is not going anywhere. I know people have said buy him out. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. There's still too much money on that contract. Forsberg, who had an 857 save percentage today, 14 shots he faced, 12 saves. I guess a little bit better. I don't really know if you could call it better. But he's likely to move 1 year left on the deal, cheaper deal, probably can bounce back with another team as a true backup. So that's probably what happens with the goaltending. We'll talk more about that in the offseason, though. I have a lot of content planned for that. But yeah, besides that, once again, I'm not going to single out anyone, so I'll leave it there with the stats. I do want to mention, though, in terms of the World Championship, which happens like in early May, I believe, Bruce Garriock today during the intermission said that really Greg is drawing interest from Team Canada. Tkachuk has never played for Team USA at the World Championship, so maybe he joins. And Jake Sanderson appears to be a lock. But as you just saw on your screen now, there's a few players that might draw some interest. So that should be fun to watch. I always enjoy watching the Ottawa Senator players in the years we don't make the playoffs in the World Championship. It's always fun to see the guys finish off on a strong note. Never hurts to play a bit more games and meaningful minutes as well. Obviously, these World Championships, a guy like Tkachuk or Sanderson in particular will have to play top minutes, so that doesn't hurt. But, I think Sanderson very likely will go. This is a young guy, but for a guy like Tkachuk who plays a physical game, my bet personally is he takes the summer off and trains and lets his body recover, but we'll see. I'll keep an eye on that, and I will keep you all updated. Now, besides that, it's the best part of these videos. We are going to do the Tankathon, and, the last few times I've done this, Ottawa has not exactly done too great. So hopefully that can switch today. So with that, let's kick this thing off with the first draw of the day. All right, we're continuing with some bad luck. Second draw. All right, third draw. Okay, well, nothing's going our way, but I suppose that is the way the cookie crumbles. So besides that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. And I will see you on Saturday when Ottawa takes on the New Jersey Devils, a team in which is looking for a desperate 2 points to stay alive in the playoff race. And by the way, shout out to the Ottawa 67s. I'm watching the overtime period right now as I'm recording this video. Up 2-1 in the series against the Brantford Bulldogs in the first round of the OHL playoffs. An incredible game right now, game 4 in Ottawa. Ottawa came back, led by 2 in the final couple minutes. Brantford would tie it to make it 5-5. So we're in overtime now. I was hoping that they would win. And I would get my reaction during the video, but that does not appear to be the case. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, the 67s have won the game.
Plays it back to the point. Maillet's one-timer, they score! The 67s win it! 6-5!
All right, so I'm updating you guys now. It looks like the 67s might have won the reviewing it. Yes, go! Bang! Let's go! 67s win it in overtime, baby. They take down Brantford. Whew. Love junior hockey, baby. They take down the Bulldogs 6-5 and lead the series in the first round of the OHL playoffs 3-1. Shout out the 67s. What a win. What a game. I'm definitely going to have to go to a second round game if they could take care of business in game 5. But, you know, it's so nice to have some playoff hockey here in Ottawa. Take the hint, Sens. But shout out the 67s. A great win. A well-deserved win. And hopefully, you know, in the next week, we'll be seeing second round hockey. But I had to give you guys a bit of an update. So shout out to 67s. Congratulations to them. They are a game away from upsetting Brantford. Besides that, thank you for watching. Go Sens, go! And let's go 67s.